Being overly nice might seem like a strength at first glance, but it often comes with unintended consequences that can leave you feeling undervalued and disrespected. People sometimes confuse kindness with a lack of boundaries, leading them to overlook your worth. This is why understanding the power of respect over niceness is essential, not only for your relationships, but also for your self-esteem and personal growth. Respect commands attention and fosters balance, while unchecked niceness can tip the scales, leaving you in a position of constant giving without reciprocation. Respect begins with self-awareness. To gain respect, you must first understand and value yourself. This means taking time to reflect on your strengths, understanding your boundaries, and identifying what truly matters to you. Respect isn't just about how others treat you, it starts with how you treat yourself. When you show respect for your own needs and priorities, others are more likely to follow suit. People mirror the energy you project, so if you exude self-respect, you set the tone for how they should engage with you. Often being overly nice is a learned behavior stemming from a desire to avoid conflict or to gain approval. While the intention might be pure, it often backfires. People may perceive your niceness as a weakness, making them less inclined to appreciate your efforts or acknowledge your contributions. The solution lies in shifting your focus from being liked to being respected. Respect comes from strength of character, strength in your convictions, and strength in standing firm when it comes to your values and boundaries. This shift requires a mindset change. Stop worrying about pleasing everyone and start focusing on what feels right for you. Recognize that it's impossible to satisfy everyone, and trying to do so often leads to personal dissatisfaction. Respect requires honesty and authenticity. Be honest about your limits and authentic in your interactions. People respect those who stand firm in their truth, even if it means not always agreeing with others or saying no when necessary. One of the most empowering things you can do to cultivate respect is to eliminate the fear of judgment. Niceness often stems from a deep-seated fear of what others might think. But the truth is, respect doesn't come from bending over backward to accommodate others. It comes from standing tall and holding your ground. Fear of judgment can lead you to compromise your needs and values, leaving you feeling unfulfilled. Releasing this fear allows you to prioritize what matters to you, enabling you to interact with others from a position of strength rather than vulnerability. Respect is also built through consistency. It's not a one-time action, but a pattern of behavior that others learn to rely on. When people see that you consistently stand by your principles and treat yourself with dignity, they begin to respect you more. This consistency helps you develop healthier relationships where mutual respect takes precedence over one-sided effort. By prioritizing respect, you also create space for deeper, more meaningful connections. People who respect you are more likely to appreciate your efforts and reciprocate them, fostering balance and fulfilling relationships. Being respected doesn't mean being harsh or unkind. It's not about rejecting niceness altogether, but about balancing kindness with firmness. Kindness is an asset when paired with strength that shows that you are compassionate without compromising your boundaries. This balance demonstrates emotional maturity and earns respect in a way that niceness alone cannot achieve. Understanding the power of respect over niceness allows you to approach life and relationships differently. You begin to see yourself not as someone who exists to accommodate others, but as an individual whose presence commands acknowledgement and admiration. It's about valuing yourself enough to ensure others do the same. By embracing respect as a core principle, you elevate not only how others perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. The journey from niceness to respect isn't about changing who you are, but about reclaiming your strength and asserting your worth. It's about recognizing that while kindness is admirable, respect is indispensable. Setting boundaries is one of the most empowering decisions you can make in your life, especially in relationships. Without boundaries, you risk becoming emotionally and mentally exhausted, constantly giving without receiving. It's crucial to understand that boundaries are not walls designed to shut people out, but bridges that define how you connect with others while maintaining your self-respect and emotional well-being. Boundaries communicate your values, needs, and priorities, and they allow you to navigate relationships with clarity and confidence. How many people struggle with setting boundaries because they fear being seen as rude or uncaring? Society often teaches us that saying yes is a sign of politeness, but this mindset can lead to people-pleasing behavior that erodes your sense of self. Boundaries are not about being mean or selfish. They are about creating a structure that protects your emotional energy. When you set boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. Without them, you risk being taken for granted or manipulated. The first step in establishing boundaries is recognizing your worth. If you don't value yourself, it becomes difficult to convince others to value you. Boundaries stem from self-respect, and self-respect begins with acknowledging your needs and knowing you have a right to protect them. Ask yourself what truly matters to you. What behaviors or expectations drain your energy or compromise your values? By identifying these areas, you gain clarity on where boundaries need to be placed. It's important to remember that boundaries are not static. They evolve with time and circumstances. As you grow and learn more about yourself, you might find that what you once tolerated no longer aligns with your values. This evolution is natural and necessary for personal growth. Adapting your boundaries is a way of honoring your growth and maintaining your integrity. It's about continuously choosing what serves you best, even if it means reevaluating relationships or situations. Communicating your boundaries is another critical step. Many people assume that boundaries are implied, but unspoken expectations often lead to misunderstandings. Be clear and assertive when expressing your boundaries. For example, if you need time to recharge, don't hesitate to say, I need some time for myself right now. Clarity eliminates ambiguity and ensures that others understand your limits. Remember, how you communicate your boundaries is as important as the boundaries themselves. Assertiveness doesn't mean aggression. It means being firm and respectful in your delivery. Of course, setting boundaries comes with challenges. Not everyone will accept or respect your boundaries initially, especially if they've benefited from your lack of them in the past. You might face pushback or resistance, but this is where your resolve is tested. Stand firm in your decisions and remind yourself that those who genuinely care about you will respect your boundaries, even if it takes them time to adjust. It's better to face temporary discomfort than to endure long-term resentment or emotional exhaustion. Setting boundaries also allows you to foster healthier relationships. When you establish limits, you create a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. You begin to attract people who value and appreciate you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. These relationships are built on authenticity and balance rather than one-sided effort. Boundaries filter out those who seek to exploit your kindness, leaving room for meaningful connections. Learning to enforce your boundaries is just as important as setting them. It's not enough to state your limits. You must follow through when they are crossed. This might mean having difficult conversations or even walking away from situations that consistently violate your boundaries. Enforcing boundaries is an act of self-love. It's a way of showing yourself that you matter and that your well-being comes first. Ultimately, boundaries are a gift to yourself and to others. They provide clarity, foster respect, and create a framework for healthy interactions. By prioritizing your boundaries, you reclaim your power and establish relationships that are rooted in equality and respect. It's a transformative process that elevates your self-worth and enhances the quality of your life. Embracing assertiveness is a transformative step in reclaiming your identity and ensuring you are treated with the respect you deserve. For too long, many individuals, particularly women, have been conditioned to prioritize harmony over honesty, sacrificing their own needs in the process. Being assertive, however, is not about being confrontational or aggressive. It's about clearly and confidently communicating your needs, desires, and boundaries without diminishing anyone else's. It's a skill that not only strengthens your self-esteem, but also redefines how you navigate relationships, both personal and professional. Assertiveness begins with understanding your value. Recognizing your inherent worth helps you speak up for yourself without guilt or hesitation. Far too often, people hesitate to assert themselves because they fear being labeled as difficult or demanding. But holding back your voice only leads to frustration, resentment, and emotional burnout. To be assertive is to acknowledge that your feelings, opinions, and needs are just as valid as anyone else's. When you believe in your worth, you approach conversations with confidence, not fear. It's important to recognize the difference between assertiveness and aggression. Aggression seeks to overpower, while assertiveness seeks to communicate. When you assert yourself, you are stating your perspective clearly and respectfully, without trampling on the rights of others. This balance is crucial because it ensures that your assertiveness fosters understanding and mutual respect rather than creating unnecessary conflict. Assertiveness is about fairness, ensuring that your voice is heard while still listening to others. One of the key elements of assertiveness is using I statements. Instead of blaming or accusing, express your feelings and needs in a way that focuses on your perspective. For example, saying, I feel overwhelmed when I have to manage everything on my own. Can we divide the responsibilities more evenly is far more effective than saying, you never help me with anything. The former invites collaboration, while the latter may provoke defensiveness. I statements keep the focus on your experience and pave the way for constructive dialogue. Assertiveness also involves setting clear boundaries and maintaining them consistently. This might mean saying no to commitments that overwhelm you, asking for what you need in a relationship, or speaking up when you feel disrespected. Saying no is often one of the hardest aspects of assertiveness, especially for those who are used to saying yes to everything. But every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to something that could fulfill you. Learning to say no is not about rejecting others, it's about honoring yourself. The practice of assertiveness requires self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Pay attention to your feelings and triggers. Are there situations or individuals that consistently make you feel unheard or undervalued? Understanding these patterns helps you anticipate when and where you might need to assert yourself. Preparation is key. Think about what you want to say and how you want to say it. Practicing assertiveness in smaller, low-stakes situations can help you build confidence for more challenging conversations. Fear of conflict is one of the biggest barriers to assertiveness. It's natural to want to avoid uncomfortable situations, but avoiding conflict often leads to bigger problems down the line. Assertiveness isn't about creating conflict, it's about resolving it in a healthy, constructive way. When you communicate assertively, you're addressing issues directly and respectfully, which often prevents misunderstandings. Redirecting your energy from pleasing others to investing in yourself is one of the most transformative decisions you can make. For too long, many people focus on external validation, seeking approval, acknowledgement, or acceptance from others while neglecting their own growth and well-being. This approach not only drains your energy, but also prevents you from realizing your full potential. When you decide to pour your time, effort, and focus into yourself, you set the stage for profound personal transformation. Investing in yourself begins with self-awareness. It requires you to pause and evaluate where you're directing your energy. Are you spending most of your time trying to make others happy at the expense of your own goals and dreams? Are you constantly compromising your desires to fit into someone else's vision of who you should be? Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward reclaiming your energy and channeling it into pursuits that serve you. The next step is defining your priorities, what truly matters to you. What are your passions, goals, and dreams? Often people lose sight of their own ambitions because they're too busy catering to the needs of others. But when you take the time to clarify your vision for your life, you create a roadmap for personal growth. Your priorities become the compass that guides your decisions, ensuring that your energy is spent on what truly aligns with your values. Investing in yourself also means nurturing your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Self-care is not selfish, it's essential. When you prioritize your health, you're better equipped to face challenges and pursue your goals with energy and focus. This could mean committing to regular exercise, maintaining a balanced diet, or setting aside time for relaxation and reflection. It could also mean seeking professional support when needed, whether through therapy, coaching, or mentorship. Taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it's a necessity for personal and professional success. Another critical aspect of investing in yourself is skill development. The world is constantly evolving, and staying stagnant is not an option. Whether it's learning a new language, acquiring technical skills, or pursuing further education, every effort you make to enhance your knowledge and abilities increases your value. These investments pay off in countless ways, from opening up new career opportunities to boosting your confidence and independence. Redirecting your energy also involves setting boundaries. When you say yes to everyone and everything, you're left with little time or energy for yourself. Boundaries are a way of protecting your time and mental space so that you can focus on what truly matters. This might mean declining invitations, limiting interactions with people who drain your energy, or carving out dedicated time for your own projects. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, they're about ensuring that your needs are met alongside others. A vital part of investing in yourself is embracing solitude. In a world that often equates busyness with productivity, it's easy to forget the value of spending time alone. Solitude allows you to reconnect with your inner self, reflect on your journey, and gain clarity about your path forward. It's in these quiet moments that you often discover your greatest insights and ideas. Embracing solitude is not about isolation, it's about creating space for self-discovery and renewal. As you begin to redirect your energy, you may encounter resistance both from yourself and others. It's natural to feel guilty or selfish at first, especially if you're used to putting others' needs above your own. Others may also struggle to accept the changes you're making, particularly if they've benefited from your people-pleasing tendencies. But remember, you are not responsible for how others react to your growth. Your journey is about honoring yourself and your potential, not about meeting others' expectations. The beauty of investing in yourself is that it benefits not only you, but also those around you. When you're fulfilled and thriving, you have more to give to others from a place of abundance rather than depletion. You inspire those around you to pursue their own growth and to respect your boundaries. In redirecting your energy, you create a ripple effect that elevates everyone in your orbit. The decision to invest in yourself is a declaration of your worth and a commitment to your future. It's about reclaiming your time, energy, and focus so that you can build a life that reflects your values and aspirations. By pouring into yourself, you ensure that you're not just existing, but truly living a life of purpose, passion, and fulfillment. Keep moving forward, knowing that every step you take toward yourself is a step toward a brighter, more empowered future. Standing firm in your values is one of the most powerful ways to command respect and establish your identity. It's not just about setting rules for others, it's about defining who you are and what you stand for in every aspect of your life. When you live in alignment with your values, you create a foundation of integrity that not only strengthens your character, but also influences how others perceive and treat you. Living by your values starts with identifying them. What are the principles that matter most to you? Is it honesty, loyalty, compassion, ambition, or self-respect? Defining these values requires introspection and honesty with yourself. Once you have a clear understanding of your core beliefs, you can begin to evaluate how your current actions and decisions align with them. This process often reveals areas where you might be compromising your values, either to please others or to avoid conflict. When you decide to stand firm in your values, it can be a transformative experience. It's a declaration to the world and to yourself that you will not waver in the face of pressure or opposition. This strength of character sets the tone for how others will interact with you. People quickly recognize when someone is unwavering in their principles, and that consistency earns trust and respect. It signals that you are someone who can be counted on to act with integrity, regardless of the circumstances. However, standing firm in your values isn't always easy. Life is filled with situations that test your resolve. Whether it's a relationship, a workplace dilemma, or a personal challenge, there will always be moments where the easier path is to compromise. But remember, every time you choose your values over convenience, you reinforce your sense of self-worth. You demonstrate to yourself that you are someone who honors their beliefs, and that internal confidence radiates outward. One of the key challenges in living by your values is dealing with opposition. Not everyone will agree with or understand your principles. In fact, standing firm can sometimes create friction, especially with people who have become accustomed to you being agreeable or compliant. When you begin to assert your values, there may be pushback or attempts to diminish your resolve. This is where resilience becomes critical. Standing firm doesn't mean engaging in conflict or trying to convince others of your perspective. It means maintaining your stance calmly and confidently, regardless of their reactions. Another important aspect of standing firm in your values is learning to say no. This can be particularly difficult if you're someone who has always tried to accommodate others. But every time you say yes to something that goes against your values, you're saying no to yourself. Learning to say no respectfully and assertively is an essential skill that protects your time, energy, and integrity. It's not about being unkind. It's about honoring your priorities and ensuring that your actions align with your principles. Standing firm also involves accountability. Living by your values means holding yourself to the same standards you expect from others. It's about being honest with yourself when you fall short and taking responsibility for your actions. This accountability not only strengthens your character, but also demonstrates to others that you're genuine in your convictions. People respect those who lead by example, and your willingness to uphold your values, even in difficult times, will inspire others to do the same. When you live in alignment with your values, you create a life that is authentic and fulfilling. Your choices reflect who you are at your core, and you attract people and opportunities that resonate with your principles. Over time, you'll notice that the relationships and environments around you begin to shift. The people who respect and appreciate your values will gravitate towards you, while those who don't will naturally fall away. This alignment brings clarity, peace, and a sense of purpose that is unmatched. Living by your values is a journey, not a destination. It requires constant reflection and commitment, but the rewards are worth the effort. You'll find that standing firm in your principles not only strengthens your character, but also empowers you to lead a life of authenticity and integrity. The respect you gain from yourself and others becomes a natural byproduct of living true to who you are. Keep standing firm, knowing that each step you take in alignment with your values is a step toward a more meaningful and empowered life. Confidence is a powerful tool, but it's not just about projecting a strong outward demeanor. It's about cultivating an inner belief in yourself that radiates in everything you do. True confidence comes from understanding your worth and embracing it fully without seeking validation or approval from others. It's about knowing who you are, what you bring to the table, and being unapologetic about it. This is especially important when navigating relationships and interactions with others, where confidence becomes a cornerstone of mutual respect and understanding. Building confidence starts with self-awareness. You need to take the time to understand your strengths, talents, and unique qualities. Acknowledge your accomplishments, no matter how small, and recognize the effort you've put into achieving them. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about owning your journey, including your flaws and imperfections. When you accept yourself as you are, you lay the foundation for genuine self-confidence that doesn't waver in the face of criticism or doubt. One of the keys to maintaining confidence is setting boundaries. When you're confident, you understand that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable. You don't allow others to take advantage of your kindness or push you into situations that compromise your integrity. Setting boundaries isn't about being rude or dismissive. It's about respecting yourself enough to say no when necessary and ensuring that your interactions with others are rooted in mutual respect. Confidence also involves taking responsibility for your choices and actions. It's easy to blame circumstances or others when things don't go as planned, but a confident person takes ownership of their life. They understand that their actions have consequences, and they're willing to learn from mistakes rather than dwell on them. This accountability not only strengthens your character, but also earns the respect of those around you. People are drawn to individuals who exude self-assurance and demonstrate resilience in the face of challenges. Another important aspect of confidence is the way you carry yourself. Your body language, tone of voice, and overall demeanor all contribute to how others perceive you. Stand tall, make eye contact, and speak with clarity and conviction. These nonverbal cues communicate confidence even before you say a word. However, remember that true confidence isn't about dominating others or being arrogant. It's about being comfortable in your own skin and allowing others to feel at ease in your presence. Confidence is also closely tied to your ability to make decisions. When you're confident, you trust your instincts and aren't afraid to take risks or make tough choices. You understand that not every decision will lead to success, but you're willing to embrace the lessons that come from failure. This willingness to act decisively, even in uncertain situations, sets confident individuals apart and inspires others to follow their lead.